will be touring a $1,799,000 home in Indiana. This is the first home I have shown you that has a flat roof. This thing is pretty modern and has been recently updated, so it will be a little bit more unique than some that I have shown. Let's take a look. You can see from the outside that it has a flat roof. Now there is that little angled section there in the middle, but the two big box sides both have a flat roof. The front of the home has been finished with that wood, stained wood, which is a nice touch. That is the basement, and daylight windows in the basement. Very modern front entrance. More of the stained wood accents. This has a little side porch, which is kind of interesting. So you've got a back porch and a side porch. Over here, there is a creek, a small creek running through. And if this was my home, I would have cleared this out to make it more, to make it more, so you could see it better. They kind of have it hidden by a bunch of brush. So yeah, I think I would keep that more exposed. So I mentioned in the intro that this house has been recently updated, so this house is empty. It is owned by a contractor, and when he moved out, he renovated the entire thing. So it is now for sale, and it appears to me like all of the landscaping has been updated, and the concrete is new as well. So yeah, the whole driveway is new. Look at the garage doors, they're all glass. I think I like those. Those are very modern. And I'm just gonna take a peek out the back. We will go out the back through the back door, but you can see there is a pool, in-ground pool back there. It sits on a relatively large lot for being in a neighborhood, but this neighborhood, the homes all have relatively large lots, so that's nice, so that you're not like sitting right on top of your neighbor, which I would like. Not that I'm not neighborly, but I need a little privacy. I just like privacy. I think it's because I have animals. So this is walking in the front door, and the first thing that kind of stands out to me is this flooring. So it is hardwood flooring, but they laid it in what's called a herringbone. You can see a large, super tall entrance. But yeah, this flooring is laid in a herringbone style, and it's also not, it's kind of contrasted with different colors of wood. Those slats up there are air conditioning vents. That's what the heating and air comes through. But yeah, lots of windows in here. It's very bright. As of yet, I have not turned the lights on. There is a whole house audio system here too. So I know that I stand here for quite a little bit of time, because I'm trying to figure out the light situation, because I can get some of them on, but not some of the others. So there's like a kind of a touchpad dimmer switch that I'm trying to figure out while I'm doing this here. So yeah, that's why I'm standing here there's like 4 or 5 light switches in a row, and one of them has this, I should show you, I don't think I do, but it has this like funky touchpad dimmer, which is, I had never seen one before, so I was trying to figure that out. So after we see the living area and the entry area, this is the kitchen, and there's a little wine fridge there. This is the back door to the house, one of the back doors to the house. You can see that the cabinets are black, and this has the waterfall quartz counter, very large center island, 6-burner stove, along with a skillet, and a very large refrigerator. You tap. That's a Frigidaire, which is interesting because that's usually you tap or knock on those to turn the lights on, but that there might be, because it's a Frigidaire, it might have a different style that it uses, but so I'm not sure how to get that light on, but I wasn't going to sit there and mess with it. I'm sure it works, I just don't know how to turn it on. So that is the large dining area there, but it's massive. It's a massive dining room. 71 degrees is what they have the house set at. This is a little small half bath off of in between the dining and the living area, but again, that same floor carries through. Oh, the audio system is in there as well. And what else are we gonna see here? Okay, I think I go ahead and go outside here, yeah. So let's go ahead and go outside and check out this pool area. Now, one of the notes to the listing, so when you see a listing online, of course you'll see all the public information, but when I print it off of the MLS, I can see agent remarks, and it said that the company was coming to fix the turf, which is that I just showed. That piece right there is missing, and they are coming to replace that this week. That is the pool equipment, which is nice and hidden behind that stained wood fence, which was a nice touch to not have to see it. This is connected to the side porch area. There's a squirrel. I don't think you could probably see it, but I was pointing out that there was a squirrel there, but I think it was too small, especially if you're on a mobile device, you probably don't see it. But yeah, this is the pool, and it is pretty big. I think it's a 20 by 40. That's pretty large. But yeah, it's kind of just, what's interesting? This is pretty modern, but it's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple, basic design. There's not a lot of, like ornate things here. It's just, walls and flooring, but not a lot of really unnecessary things, which is interesting about this design. It's a very simplistic but modern design. This is a workout room. And again, the audio system flows through here as well. This is like a padded floor. And then this is like a half bath inside the workout room. So you've got your own restroom when you're working out. And it has been updated as well. I suppose you could make that like a home office also. This is like a coat closet. And I think that they left their coats here by mistake, because that's the only personal items in the home. Here is the garage, and you can see that there are still some building materials in the home. But yeah, the garage, I love those glass doors. Just lets a lot of light in and just makes it feel a little less like a garage. Okay, I think I go to the basement before I go upstairs. Yes. Now, what do you see? More herringbone floors. Very modern light fixtures. The black windows, I think, add to a very modern feel because it's kind of a newer feature. Now down here, I was kind of surprised that they did carpet, because of all places, I would not do carpet is in a basement. I just would not do carpet in a basement. I'm not a fan. And the reason I wouldn't is just because the basements are more prone to moisture problems, and I just think having padding and carpet is just not a good idea in a basement in the event anything ever did happen. This room is designed to be, I think, a home theater, but they've just painted the ceiling all black, but then they just didn't finish it, so I don't think they have intentions of finishing this. They're leaving it like a storage area, or I would probably set it up as a home theater. It's probably what I would do if I just, was buying it and trying to make whatever the best use would be. This is another bedroom downstairs. And this is where your mechanicals are, your furnace and water heater and sump pump and all your plumbing. The plumbing is PEX. That's the tankless hot water heater. And some water softener there as well. So just shutting the light off there. I usually try to shut the lights off as I go. As I get out of an area that I know I'm not going to be in any longer. It's just easier than going back through the house again and turning off all the lights. But I like that the stairways are pretty wide open. They're not like a tight staircase, and they have windows even in the staircase. This house does not have a shortage of windows, which is something I really love. I love natural light in a home. It's it's like a must-have for me in a home because I do better if I can see outside. I like being outside, and when I'm inside and I see outside, it feels better to me. Again, this herringbone floor is continuing upstairs, and there's a view from the upstairs looking down at the lower level. But yeah, this black railing adds to the modern feel, but also I think adds to the simplistic nature of this home. That's called a transom window up there. This is another bedroom upstairs here. In Indiana, in order to qualify as a bedroom, it must have a window and a closet. This one has two closets in it. Another bedroom. And walking down the hall, this is probably one of the most unique features. There are 4 sinks in this bathroom. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have never seen such a thing. It's like I've seen this in like restaurants or like stadiums where they have multiple sinks, or even workplaces where they have multiple sinks for multiple people, but there's one toilet in there but 4 sinks. I suppose if you had 4 kids, they could all be brushing their teeth at the same time. This is another upstairs bedroom. So there are 3 secondary bedrooms, and now we are going into the primary bedroom. This is is this the master bedroom? No, this is not the master. This is like a guest suite. So this is a bedroom that has its own bath. So you have 4 bedrooms upstairs. One has their own bath, and then you have the master suite, which is this room. So when you walk in the master suite, off to the side is the laundry area, which is pretty. Got a nice sink with backsplash. And then this is the master bedroom. Again, the audio system is continuing up here, as is the herringbone floor. There are mirrors and lights beside where the bed would be, which is interesting because there are hanging lights and receptacles for each, light switches for each, like a his and her. And this turns on the Edison bulb, which is very cool. So yeah, I thought that was kind of a neat feature, having those on each side of the bed, hanging down low, like nice reading lights. I like that feature a lot. This is, I think, exterior lighting. I think that lights up the lights outside, so if you're upstairs and you heard something, you can turn on all your perimeter lighting outside, which is a cool security feature. This is the master closet, and nice custom shelving, which is pretty. And then there's a second one over here, so like a his and hers closets. And then into the master bath, which you have the water closet. That's what they call the toilet room, is a water closet. And you have a large walk-in shower. I usually don't go in them, but for some reason I went in this shower. But it is big, I think, because I wanted to take a video from inside. inside so you can just kind of see how big it is, because sometimes looking from the outside it's harder to tell just how big it is, but it's big. And then a large soaker tub. That thing is huge. And then of course dual vanities, and those brass fixtures are in style now. But notice it's not the real bright brass. It's just different. I suppose gold. They're calling those gold, maybe. I don't know. I think it's a trend that won't last very long, in my opinion. I'm just a fan of more traditional, like nickel. I think it just stands the test of time, and it's not trendy in any way, but that's just me. I try not to jump on faddish trends that I think won't last long. Just because you're just going to have to redo it again. Even black, I think, would be better than the gold. I just think it's going to go out of style quick, just like brass, really. When shiny brass, oh God, when you go in a house and you see brass light fixtures and brass door handles and brass ceiling fan ornaments, it's like, yeah, this is solid wood. These are called floating stairs. I like them. I like the stairway a lot. But I think it's just this herringbone because it's kind of loud. It's not. I like the design, but I think because there's so many different colors of wood, I think if it was me, again, I'm more simple. I would want it to be one solid color of wood. But with that herringbone, I think it would have been less. It's a lot throughout the whole house like that. It's just an in-your-face kind of thing. It's a little bit aggressive for my taste, but this had a digital keypad door, which is cool, and you can see the doorbell there, the camera doorbell. But yeah, that's it. I don't remember how much longer I recorded here, so let's just see. Maybe I walk all the way to the car. I don't know, but yeah, I could live in this house for sure. Obviously, I couldn't have my horse here, but I think the fenced-in yard would be good for the dogs, and yeah. But yeah, all new concrete driveway. I mean, they spent a lot of money on this home, getting it ready. So what do you think about that one compared to some of the others? I do feel like it's a little bit unfair when a house is empty to compare it to a house that I've walked through that is furnished, because a furnished house just feels a lot more homey. Like this house is kind of sterile, but part of it is because it's not furnished. But if there were rugs that would kind of tone down that loud floor, and then furniture in place, again, it's going to cover a lot of that. It wouldn't seem like so much in your face on that flooring. Again, some of you might really love it, but for me it's a little loud. But again, I think furniture would tone it down a lot. And but you're going to have to spend a lot of money in window coverings for that house, because you would want some sort of blinds, especially like in that master bath. It's just like you wouldn't want to be naked in there without any window coverings, because there are people that live behind that house that could see in that master bath, I would think. Although there are people that are voyeuristic, that like to display themselves. We are all so different. It is interesting how different we are. And my last video, I made a life advice video, and these are always I had a lot of requests for me to make one, because I have a lot of younger people that watch this, and they look, a lot of young guys don't have dads, and so they look to someone like me sometimes as a role model. And so I tried to incorporate some life advice just for those people that I certainly don't do this for money. I do this because I like the community that I've built, and just a lot of people have encouraged me to keep going. so I do, and I donate all the money to animals. But yeah, I just enjoy getting to know a lot of you through comments, and then some of you have contacted me through Discord, but it's just been a real blessing to get to know a lot of people all over the world. So that's why I do this, but part of it is a little bit Vivian is dreaming, and she's like running in her sleep and scraping the side of her dog bed. Okay. But anyway, it's a little bit dangerous for me to be so forthcoming about my thoughts, and part of it is too is I do like 30 to 45 minute videos, and so a lot of times, like, I have a lot of things that I want to cover, and so I'm just kind of touching on topics. But I had mentioned in my last video about when the first settlers came to America, and they arrived on the shores. There was nothing but wilderness. Nothing, no buildings, no running water, no electricity, nothing. And of course, more than one person in the comments commented about there were something here, there were native people here. And it isn't as if I didn't know that, but I was referencing like structures. I was referencing there was no way for these people to shelter other than getting back on the boat and using the boat as a temporary hotel, basically, as a place to live while they started from nothing and tried to build a community, a place to stay. That was the point. But again, because I didn't clarify that, yes, there were native people here, as if I'm so ignorant that I didn't know that. I mean, it's just, this is the frustrating thing with either A, paying attention to comments, or B, just making yourself, letting your feelings be known and trying to paint a picture for somebody about something. So I think moving forward, I'm going to try to be more neutral on this channel. I'm going to provide real estate information, and I may touch on topics at the end of these real estate tours. I always will pick like some sort of topic to discuss, but I am going to start a second channel that is simply that is separate from this, because I think when I look at my most popular videos, my number one video is a home tour video, and in my top 10 it's probably half, and part of that is I haven't been doing real estate videos very long. I did just basically ramble about life, and that's why the name of this channel is ASMR Reality, because I wanted to talk about reality, the things that I see that are basically things based in logic and reason. And I've talked about controversial topics, which I won't do that anymore, not on this channel. It's just, this is supposed to be a place for peace and relaxation. I hope that you are relaxed. And that's what I want to do. I know that I use ASMR for peace and relaxation, and that's what I want to provide. I don't want to upset anyone. I don't want to give people a reason to hate any more than people already have a reason to hate. And so on this channel, I want to stay clear of that, and I'm moving forward. That's what I'm going to do, and I will keep those of you posted that would be interested in my other channel that will be more, I likely won't be an ASMR channel. I've tried a second channel one time, but it was I was trying to make it more like a motivational sales type channel, but for me it's just like I don't view that as something that I can continually talk about over and over and over, because pretty much I made 90 videos. I said everything I ever wanted to say, and there was really nothing else for me to say other than repeat the same things I had already said. So I don't want to do that. And but I hope that you guys will, those of you that like real estate are happy about that. I want to keep this more of a real estate focused channel and provide tours of homes that I think are interesting, homes that I think you would like to see. Also, home advice, like what upgrades should you do that can make good money. But then I also do want to talk about some other things that may not be, they are not controversial. So like, for example, AI is going to affect us all, and I've got a good video plan that I want to make for you on AI, because more than ever now, it's like I'm seeing it more and more, even in my job. Like, even for my channel, I use it for this channel. I use AI. I use it to create video titles. I use it to create video descriptions, because I think the majority of people are not reading the description, but the YouTube algorithm is reading it. And so you can have AI make fully optimized video titles and video descriptions, and that's what I'm doing. I don't make my own titles or descriptions anymore. So that's just one thing. And then in my real estate career, I want to save some of it for the video, so I don't want to tell you all of it now, but I'm going to be going into a lot of the things that I'm seeing and where I see this progressing very, very quickly on us. And I hope you'll find it very interesting. And I also want to throw this out there. I have had some comments about the video quality, whether I do a light, like this is a light video, or a very dim video. The problem is when I show real estate, the footage is bright, and if you want to see the house, it's going to be bright. So I figured, you know, all of our phones have a brightness and a dimmer, so I figured for those of you that wanted it dim, you could just dim the lighting down. But then if it's harder to see for the real estate part, I don't know. So, but let me know in the comments if you would prefer to have a darker backdrop and like darker, if you want me to make the room darker, if you think that's better for ASMR. Me personally, when I use ASMR every single day. Some days I take a nap with it, and the interesting thing is, if I take a nap with it, I can't get tingles at night, and vice versa. If I don't use it at night, then I can use it when I take a nap. But anyway, once a day I'm able to get tingles. It's just the weirdest thing, but it's what puts me to sleep. But I don't watch ASMR, I simply listen. So like, I have like 4 or 5 videos that I primarily use, and right now, but they typically tend to rotate because they typically expire on me, meaning their ability to create tingles within me expire. Like, it's like they have a shelf life. And I just, if I watch them probably 30 times, after that I can't. They don't do the same thing for me, probably because I've memorized everything. But that was another reason why I like to talk about things other than just like saying tingles, 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 tingles. Everybody does that, you know, like most of the women that do that Are you relaxed? Are you relaxed? Relax, relax, relax. Tingles, tingles, tingles. I mean, how many videos can you make saying that? I mean, I couldn't. I would just feel like it's Groundhog's Day. Here I go again. Hey everybody, it's ASMR reality. Tingles, tingles, tingles. Relax, relax, relax. I just could keep doing it and stay motivated. So there's just a lot of things that like pop into my mind that I like to share, but I just think it's a lot of the things that I do are a little bit, it's like I can't talk without letting something out that's gonna offend someone, and it's just hard. It's hard to be offended by doing a real estate tour, you know what I mean? So nobody's ever said, this is horrible that you're showing houses, but when I speak from the heart, it's like, I don't know, and maybe I should not care, but I do. I care. I want as many people that want to be here to feel comfortable here. And so it's one of those things you just really have to be careful when you're not scripted. You know, I think it's one of the reasons like most politicians use teleprompters, because they already know what they're going to say. The speech has been vetted by multiple people that say, okay, yes, you're not going to offend anybody with this, or you're not going to say the wrong thing if you stick to the script. But I also feel like the scripted stuff that I watch that's ASMR is just not as, it just doesn't feel as real, you know, and I like being real. I mean, hello, ASMR reality is real. And I suppose speaking my reality is, I don't know. I think the comments from the last one are fresh in my mind, and it affects the way I think. I care. I care what other people think. You know, what's interesting is it's why I had to leave the car business, because I had too much empathy that I could not do the things to customers that they wanted me to do. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't sell the paint scams and all the scams that they sell in the finance office. I just could not do it. And it was getting harder and harder to fight it off, keep it out of my store, because I didn't own the place. I was an employee. So it just was getting harder to fight off the corruption. And there's so much of it in our world today. And I feel like I'm a good person, and I think when I upset someone, it just upsets me. Even when I feel like I didn't do anything wrong, but I still just hate it. It's like, I can't fix it, you know. Somebody's watched it and said, I'm unsubscribing right now. They're gone. It's like they probably don't, if I reply to the comment, they probably don't even read it, you know. So that's the part of this whole YouTube thing that it gets a little bit, I don't know. I don't know. It's with anything in life. There is pleasure and there is pain. And so long as I get more pleasure from doing this than pain, I'm going to keep doing it. So luckily, I have way more people that appreciate what I do than people that don't. So for now, I'm happy about that. And as long as that's the case, I'm going to keep being here. And I'm glad you're here as well. I appreciate your support. And if you're new, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be great. And I will see you on the next one.